Welcome to this tutorial on how to install Pi-hole on a Linux server. Pi-hole is a powerful network-wide ad blocker that helps you take control of your network traffic and block unwanted advertisements. Before we begin, it's essential to ensure that your server has a static IP address. This can be done either manually or by setting up a static DHCP mapping on your router. For this tutorial, we'll be using a server with the static IP address 17.2.16.1.74. Now that we have the basics covered, let's dive into the installation process. The first step is to navigate to the official Pi-hole homepage using your preferred web browser. Simply open your browser and go to pi-hole.net. This is where you'll find all the information about Pi-hole, along with the installation instructions and commands needed for the setup. Once you're on the site, we'll proceed with downloading and installing Pi-hole on your Linux server. Next, open up a terminal on your Linux server. Here we assume that the git command is already installed on your system. From the Pi-hole homepage or the official documentation, copy the git clone and installation commands provided. Paste these commands into the terminal and press enter to execute them. This will download the necessary files and start the Pi-hole installation process. These commands will automatically fetch and run the Pi-hole installation script. Once executed, the installer will guide you through the setup process step by step. This is the Pi-hole installer screen. Press Enter or select OK to proceed with the setup. This screen reminds you that Pi-hole requires a static IP address to function properly. Once you've ensured your device has a static IP, select Continue to proceed with the installation. This screen allows you to select an upstream DNS provider for Pi-hole to use when resolving domain names. Choose one from the list, such as Google or Cloudflare, or select Custom to use your own DNS server. Once you've made your choice, press Enter to continue. This screen allows you to select block lists for Pi-hole to use in order to block advertisements and unwanted domains. By default, it suggests Stephen Black's Unified Hosts list, a well-maintained and reliable block list. Select Yes to include it in your setup. You can always add additional block lists later through the Pi-hole admin web interface. This flexibility ensures you can tailor the blocking to suit your needs over time. It's also important to note that block lists should be updated periodically to ensure they stay effective. Pi-hole includes an option to automatically update block lists, or you can manually update them via the web interface or command line. This ensures that new ad domains and threats are consistently blocked. Choose Yes to install the Pi-hole admin web interface, which makes managing and monitoring Pi-hole easier. Select Yes to install the default web server, LinuxTPD, and required PHP modules unless you already have a compatible web server configured. Select Yes to enable query logging, which allows you to track DNS queries and monitor Pi-hole activity. You can change this setting later if needed. Here you can select the privacy mode for Pi-hole's FTL, faster than light engine. Options range from Show Everything, which provides full query logging, to Anonymous mode, which hides all client and domain information. Choose the level that best suits your privacy preferences and press Continue. This setting can be adjusted later if needed. Now just wait for the installer to complete the setup. While we wait, here's a quick fact. Pi-hole can block ads across all devices on your network, including smart TVs and mobile devices, without needing any additional software. It also reduces bandwidth usage and speeds up your browsing by preventing unwanted ads and trackers. Installation should finish in just a moment. Congratulations, the installation is complete. Your Pi-hole is now set up and ready to use. Configure your devices to use Pi-hole as their DNS server by setting the DNS to 17.2.16.1.74. Please note that you should adjust this IP address to match the static IP of your own Pi-hole server. You can access the admin interface by visiting pi.hole/admin or directly via the IP address 17.2.16.1.74/admin. Again, your IP address may be different. To manage your Pi-hole settings. For this setup, we are using the resolve.conf file to set our DNS server, which will only work locally on this machine. The best way to configure DNS for your entire network is by setting Pi-hole as the DNS server through the DHCP server on your router. This will ensure that all devices on your network automatically use Pi-hole for DNS. Feel free to use the dig command to test your new DNS server. For example, run dig google.com in your terminal and check the output. Make sure that the replies come from your Pi-hole DNS server, confirming that it's working correctly. Make sure to note your admin web interface login password displayed on this screen. Open up your browser and navigate to the Pi-hole dashboard by visiting pi.hole/admin or your server's IP address followed by /admin. This concludes the tutorial. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more tutorials.